And welcome back to the Sports Avenue podcast. This is episode 36. Today, I have a special guest with me. He is a former player from the National Atlantic Football League. He's also a fellow sportscaster. I would like to welcome Adam Nutter from Slapstick Sports. Adam, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. Kind of last minute, but I threw on you, but thank you.
Oh, no. Sometimes the last minute things are the best things.
Yeah, man, for sure. But yeah, man. So thanks for having me on. I do have a podcast called Slapstick Sports. That's available wherever usually wherever you get podcast stuff, YouTube and stuff. As part of the Drop 10 Media Network. So if you guys want to check out our YouTube and watch that, just check out Drop 10 Media. If you want to just download like the audio, it's just Slapstick Sports everywhere. Yeah, it's super fun time.
I was just gonna say I listened to a fun episode. You will always be entertained when you listen to that show. I can guarantee you that much.
Yeah, because I mean, the show is essentially, it's me. I'm a comic, I'm a comedian. My co-host Blaise Gagakis, he's another comedian. And then our other co-host, my buddy Kevin Dalton, he's not a comic, but he likes to throw his jokes in there. So it's just two degenerate comedians, talking garbage about sports, and it definitely gets hectic and crazy.
If you are Christian, I don't recommend the show, but
don't. If cursing is not your thing, don't listen to me at all. Don't come out to my comedy. Don't listen to my podcast because you will get offended. But if you don't care, then we would love to have you listen to our debauchery. So come on over.
No, yeah, I definitely recommend listening to it. So today we're going to be talking about, Adam's life with football because he did play semi-pro. And also we're going to be talking about some college football and MLB playoffs. But anyways, I just wanted to start with talking about you, Adam. So my first question to you is, what's your passion from sports stem from?
Competition, man, I think. I just love it. Like, I just love to see if I'm better than you. That's what it is. And football to me was like the perfect combination of like, you gotta use your brain a little bit, obviously in football, figuring out schemes and all that. But also physical, like speed, strength, coordination, all of it.
Right. And brains and football, wait, those go together?
Yeah, I know. I mean, mine are ruined from that now. But I for sure have CTE, for sure. But I don't regret it. I would still play, knowing what I know now.
So what are your thoughts on how football's played today?
I'm going to take heat for this. But I have a shirt that I wore on my podcast, like in the last episode. It's make football violent again. Listen, man. All right. You want to make the argument like we didn't know back then? Fine. We do now, though. So if you're an adult and you want to make an adult decision to go play a violent sport, but you also might make millions of dollars doing so, then that's the risk you take. You risk your brain function. That's it.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree with you. I've been one of those players, like when I see a guy like Jamal Adams where he's trying to advocate, and it's like you can see his passion for the sport. Because when I played football, and I know you can attest to this because I think you feel the same way. You were playing because you loved the contact. You loved everything about it. When you saw guys like Patrick Willis, Ray Lewis, those guys hit and play, you want to do the exact same thing. That's why you love the play.
Dude.
I mean,
yeah,
you played safety. You you want to lay the boomstick.
My favorite player growing up, and still, he's not playing anymore, obviously, but John Lynch, legendary safety for the Bucks and Broncos. Now he's the GM for the 49ers.
Right. I mean, he was a great player.
Dude, watch his highlight reel. Any young player. I mean, you can't hit how he used to hit, but like watch how he used to play. Just reckless abandonment for his own body, and it would just throw himself into danger.
And when I think of when you talk about like John Lynch, I think of like Brian Dawkins, Sean Taylor, even Ed Reed. I mean, I know Ed Reed was more of a playmaker, but he wasn't afraid to lower the shoulder either.
He was more of a ball hawk, but John Lynch, Rodney Harrison, Darren Sharper.
Rodney Harrison. Oh man,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever watched his Football Life. I really recommend watching it. That was one.
I didn't know.
It's so good. Ronnie Lott. I mean, when you think of night. I mean, I don't know if you ever watched on YouTube. There's the top 100 football players, and Dick Night Train Lane came up, and they're saying this dude literally just went out there, flew around the field, murdered people. Not literally, but he would clothesline you. Like, the league, how they hit changed because of him. And that's what I'm saying there. Like, guys that they really didn't care about scoring touchdowns. They just wanted to play the game and initiate contact. And I feel like that's what football's deviated away from. It's more about showing off athleticism, and
it's more about points.
Which is what the is what the demographic is more getting towards, because they want to attract the casual fan rather than us.
Of course. I mean, dude, Ronnie Lott cut his pinky off to play in the Super Bowl. Don't forget that.
Yeah, when he's like, I'm not gonna miss the Super Bowl for a finger.
He's like, I don't need a pinky. I don't need a finger. Yeah, you won't see that anymore.
Like, that just gets chills up your spine, because it's like, you feel the same way about that sport, man.
I love playing. I mean, like, I was playing when I played high school football between 2000 and 2004, and it was pretty like violent back then too. Like, there was really no curbing the hitting in high school back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I got out and I got a little older, I started seeing the change a little more. But even when I started playing a little semi-pro, like, that was pretty reckless too. Like, they didn't really care.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, yeah, just go out there and just whatever, just do whatever. It's like, okay.
Well, you know what was? I can say the same thing too. I played high school freshman and sophomore year. In freshman year, we were doing Oklahoma drills, and we were just smacking the crap out of each other. I know it's freshman football, but when I got to like JV varsity for my sophomore year, we didn't do Oklahomas once. We barely did any like actual hitting drills, and I'm sitting there like okay, it's like, it's not fun. Like, practice, I enjoyed, because when I played like youth football, I mean, literally, we just set up, it was like, was it the hot dog, or I can't think of it.
What, this is a little shoot?
No. You would have two people lining up against each other. They're laying down with their helmets, like, touching each other. Then you would get up and try to tackle the guy. I can't think.
Yeah, it's Oklahoma, kind of.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, we never did that during high school.
Oh, we did all the time.
I know. I loved it during youth football. I remember this one time, it was one-on-one. We met in the middle. Basically, there was like 3 cones. You shadow the runner, then like you meet at the point of contact. And he was our star running back at the time, and we met in the middle. And I remember we both hit each other so hard. I think we were both like, I couldn't see anything for like 2 minutes, and I was so dizzy. And I'm sitting there like, I wouldn't change it for the world, though.
Yeah, I totally wouldn't. I mean, I remember Wednesday, because we played Saturday mornings. We didn't play Friday night. So we played like Saturday afternoons or whatever. And so every Wednesday during high school would be scrimmage day.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was so excited because it was full contact scrimmage.
Right.
And we were all so excited, like, scrimmage day is here, like, and then like now it's like, that's not a thing anymore, man. Like, there's no more, like, I think they have most like high school conferences, whatever, have like a time limit of how much full contact you have in a week of practice.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. You can only have like an hour or like 2 hours or something like that.
I don't even think it's 2. I think it's less than that. Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, okay, that's cool.
Which it's you're gonna get more hurt that way because you're not properly learning how to tackle.
And when you see the NFL guys, some of these guys, they still do whatever, and they get fined for it, like Vontaze Burfict. I don't know if you remember. You remember Deshaun Goldson on the 49ers and Buccaneers?
Oh, sorry. F yeah.
I mean, I remember he was a good safety, but he was kind of in the same situation as Burfict, where his reputation was this hard-hitting, strong safety, and he basically just got out of the league because he couldn't control himself. And it was like, it sucks because the talent was there.
Dante Whitner.
Yeah, Dante Whitner. Oh my gosh, I can't. There's a guy off the top of my head. Was it Brandon Merriweather?
Yep, Brandon Merriweather. Yeah, he played for the Pats.
Yeah, Redskins too.
And the Redskins. Yep.
There were so many talented players. I feel like there's so many talented players on defense specifically, or especially, that their talents you'll never know because they were not able to reach their full potential as a player.
Well, like I said, you'll never see another John Lynch again. You just won't.
Oh no!
Unless they change the rules again.
I mean, if you look at it, most guys on like the defense, when you think of like good linebackers, like Joe Schobert, Bobby Wagner, Levante.
Kuechly.
Yeah, Kuechly. None of those guys are known for sticking and just destroying people. They're just known for
they're all known for just amazing play. Oh my God, what's the word?
Play recognition, IQ.
Thank you. Play recognition and just
making tackles,
tackling ability. Right.
It's not about
not like a Ray Lewis.
Oh no, because Ray Lewis he would murder you, but at the same time, he was also super intelligent on the field.
Yeah, and he stabbed a guy and got away with it. So it's
It goes both ways. It goes both ways. So, when you're talking about playing in like the semi-pro league, can you talk about like what that league is? I know you said it's defunct or the team was defunct.
Yeah, it's the whole league is gone now.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was. I mean, listen, it was weird because like you had on guys who like were still trying to live out like their high school glory, and then you had guys who like, oh, I got cut for the Bears. It's like, oh, cool. That's a very drastic spectrum of talent.
Mm-hmm.
So it was I think I got paid for it was a 12-game season, and I think I got paid like $1,200 for the whole year. It was like I was not doing it for the money, obviously. I was also like 19, 20 years old, so it didn't really.
Yeah,
you're
like,
getting paid. I'll do it for free.
If you're 19, 20 years old and you're getting paid $100 to play football, well, I mean, unless you play in California now, where you actually get paid to be a college athlete. I mean,
right.
It's like, of course, I'm gonna play $100 for college. And you said you couldn't. Your college that you went to, they didn't have the team because it went defunct the year you went.
Yeah, so it was, Title IX and money issues. And I don't want to go to school, but but yeah, I was going to a D2 college, and I don't know, and and then the school was like, hey, so here's the deal, and they told me, and they're like, because of Title IX and money, and like you can still come to the school, but no football. I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, because it's like
why would I do that?
Yeah.
So, and then when I became before I became a comic and all the podcast stuff, I was actually a cop in New York City, NYPD.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a very good semi-pro team. And my old high school defensive back coach knew one of the defensive coaches for the NYPD team. And when I got on at 21 years old, he reached out to me. He was like, hey, I got this kid coming up that he's like, you should get him on your team. He's really good. So one of the defensive coaches for the NYPD team came out to me and was like, hey, come try out. And I was like, great. Because they travel the country to play.
Right.
And I was like, well, how's that work? Because, I'm missing work.
Yeah.
Do they give me like extra vacation time or like, free day? And they're like, oh no, you got to use your own vacation time. I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me? For what? To make no money, to waste my own vacation time to go to Dallas to come back and then go to work again?
It's the longest yard all over again.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
So like when you see like leagues like the AAF and all these like leagues that are trying to compete with the NFL, because I mean you actually have experience with playing in like these leagues that are smaller. I mean, what do you think when you see these types of leagues?
I mean, listen, that league I was doing, they knew what they were about. They're like, this is for guys who can't, this is it. This is the end of the rope. Like college is not an option anymore, and you're clearly not making the NFL. So this is what we do for fun. Those leagues, they're not going to compete with the NFL, man. They're just not. Like, I can't wait for the XFL, but it's not going to compete with the NFL, let's be honest.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, if they want to get, like, some people are saying, like, Antonio Brown goes there. And my thought process is, Vince McMahon only put $500 million into it. I know, I mean, I'm not only saying only $500 million, but when you think about a league.
Right, I didn't say anything, though.
Yeah,
right.
It's like, say, like, Antonio Brown wants to go and play for that league or whatever. How much money do you think he's going to want? 10, 20 million at least? At least.
But here's the thing too. He knows. He also has money, dude. So he might be like, give me like $2 million. And I'll just ruin this league for 12 games.
Yeah, I mean,
because think about the level of talent like he's gonna be compared to those guys.
I mean, he's literally like Jerry Rice going against like the Miami Dolphins of this year. Yeah, literally.
So he's like, let me wreck this league. Why not? But I don't see it. And then, all right, but then like you could get a bunch of like washed up NFL players. It's the big three for the NBA.
I mean, I guess that's cool, but at the same time, it's like I don't buy it. I thought what the AAF had was a smart idea because I feel like in a way the NFL, I think they could use like a minor league system, not to like the extent of MLB where it's literally 4 years of your life, scrounging to get to the majors. I'm thinking
right.
Like for these guys that say these like for college athletes that don't get paid, this is their way of, oh, why not just get paid a good amount of money, start getting my name across these
right.
coaches' lists, then maybe make it to the league. Because, when you think about it, besides the top 10 teams in the college football, which you can name off the top of your head: Clemson,
Right.
Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, arguable, LSU. I mean, that's your round. That's your first round of the draft every year, maybe besides a handful of players.
Right.
So it's
yeah, for sure. So it could be it could be a total avenue for kids who, aren't going top 32, I guess.
Yeah. Well, when the XFL's making
Yeah.
Landry Jones their first free agency pickup, and they're trying to make that a big deal, it's like this dude was the bench warmer for Ben Roethlisberger for years. I mean,
right? How long?
Yeah, like he was there for probably 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. They're like, yeah, why? That doesn't sound good when your first free agent is a backup to Ben Roethlisberger his entire career at all.
Right. I mean, I'm interested to see where it's going for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely interested. I mean, it's more football. No one's gonna really complain about more football. I thought the AAF actually outdid itself. I thought the defense was good. I just thought it was different. It's not NFL quality in terms of like the talent and everything, which is fine. I don't think anyone expecting that, but I thought you saw some good physical, aggressive football. It's just the quarterback play wasn't what everyone expected. It's not Patrick Mahomes throwing 80-yard bombs on the dot.
Right. Well, people want to see that now, though. Like we were just talking about, it's a problem, right?
Oh yeah,
that's all people want to see. So it's like, okay, well, you're not going to get that anywhere else right now besides the NFL. So that's what I'm saying. So where is the competition?
There isn't none. That's the thing that I think NFL is starting to they're just starting to kind of like I don't want to say bottom out, but they're just stagnant. They're just complacent.
Well, so they did what the WWE did. They bought out ECW, WCW, all the other ones, and there was literally nothing left. And they went, oh, we'll just go super PG now. We won't take chances anymore. We won't take risks because it's a monopoly. And now you have this AEW coming. I don't even watch wrestling really, by the way, but like I just, let my friends talk about it.
Yeah, no,
they have this AEW coming up, and now WWE's like, oh no, they're like popular. They're gonna like pull people from us. Now we have to go. Now I heard WWE's like, we're going back to hardcore, no rules, because like, oh, I see, because that's what everybody liked to see. Mm-hmm. And then you guys got rid of it because you could, and now the slightest bit of threat, right back to blood and violence. I'm like, you guys are, it's also, I see right through that nonsense. Yeah. So the NFL is eventually going to have that happen where, they're going to be like, wow, PG this, no tackling. And then eventually that XFL's going to be like, we're going to bring guns on the field. And then they're going to be like, oh no, what do we do?
Yeah, right.
They're going to have to make a hard 180. So that's what's going to come down to.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be the XFL, but I think personally that rugby's going to make NFL get a run for their money. Because I don't know if you watched rugby, but that sport's pretty good. It's a fun sport to watch. It's definitely different. It's not like murderous aggressive like what you think of like NFL with everyone with the pads and helmets, but I feel like the passion for the NFL left, and rugby has what that passion is. And that's what I think makes rugby so unique. Because I had 2 guests on from Wales last week talking about rugby and the World Cup and everything, and they're just saying it's just an entirely different atmosphere, and it's just the passion for the sport is what's kind of making it start to grow throughout the world. And I think NFL is eventually going to have to face off in rugby for the most competitive contact sport in the world, or let's say in America.
I don't know. I think Americans are pretty hard set on not accepting rugby or soccer or cricket ever. So.
That's the thing. That's what I was talking about last week. And it's like America sees like American football as their baby. So like for rugby to try and like compete with that's gonna be a hard tough sell. But if rugby can get to the point where they're hitting where the hardcore fans of the NFL are just saying like, we can't see any contact, like it's boring, then it's like rugby's gonna take all those people and say, hey, we'll give you all this violence and toughness and all this stuff that you get to see on a stage that NFL doesn't provide you anymore.
Yeah, no, I get it, but like I'm just thinking of like the Bills Mafia people, and like they're not gonna watch rugby, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah, if they see
like,
rugby,
they're never gonna turn.
Yeah, they'll see they'll see a Bills game in rugby, and they're like, what the hell's that show? What's this TV show that's not next to the Bills game? What is that?
What's a weird ball? That's weird. Kill it. That's how we are. So like,
no, I completely agree with you. No, I mean, like, because I do see where you're going. I do see that standpoint, too, because it's like, it's American football. It's our pride and joy. It's something that we made. And, I completely agree with that nationalistic bias for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That's me. I'm that guy.
Oh, no, I don't hold it against anybody, because, like, I just wish football went back to...
Sure, me too.
Yeah, I think most people do. It's just that I'll say most people, the hardcore fans do.
I would love to see. Again, I'm all for taking out clotheslining and stuff and helmet to helmet contact.
Oh yeah, for sure. I completely agree with that too.
But it ends there. Everything else, hey, it is what it is.
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, football's a contact sport. You can't take the contact out of a contact sport. It's impossible.
That's the thing. It's like, and that's my biggest argument against it all. Is like, well, it's violent. Don't play it then.
Yeah, because if you think you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. I mean, that's how I was playing when I was growing up. I mean, even as a kid, don't play like you're gonna get hurt, because you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get leveled.
Mm-hmm. This all goes back to I don't know. I'm not getting political at all, but like I'm a libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
This all goes back to like, hey, you make your own decisions. You're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. If I want to put my head in a helmet and smash it against someone else's brain and ruin my brain, hey man, that's my decision. You don't have to play it. You don't have to watch it. Just like comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I said something that offended you? Cool. Turn the channel. It's 2019.
Mm-hmm.
You know the whole Shane Gillis thing that went on with the whole SNL stuff?
Yeah, I think I heard something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally know Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the first time I've seen something in the news about a topic like that where I personally know the person. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. It's like seeing someone I know go through all this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, hey, or just don't listen to his stuff. But it's that simple. So like, don't play football then. If you think it's violent and you think it should be, banned, cool. Don't play it. Don't have your kids play it. Don't watch it. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to play it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's starting to affect the youth teams and all that, because like the local league that my city had, it's already disbanded. The Catholic Youth Organization that I played for, that league's not league, but that organization. I mean, football teams wise, these grades are all combining, and there's teams that don't have enough kids to play. I mean, I think the talent pool of football is going to start it's probably going to start diminishing here soon, because that you're not having kids that know how to play football, because they're starting to play in junior high, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, where they don't even know the basics of football.
I have a crazy conspiracy theory that I'm going to throw out on my podcast. So I'll save the lunacy for mine. So if you guys want to listen to my conspiracy as to why I think that's happening in America, tune into Slapstick Sports.
That's a well played. Well played.
Well, I don't want to, because I also highly believe in a lot of conspiracies. So I don't want to ruin your show with my nonsense.
No, you're good.
Slapstick Sports.
All right, yeah, for sure. All right, so we're going to dive into college football right now, because I think we had a great rant on NFL.
For sure, a good one, yeah.
Yeah. So, are you a big fan of college football?
Honestly, no. I'm not a huge fan. I watch it. I'm a very casual fan of college football. Like, also, I'm from New York, so, like, there really is no college around there,
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
It was always NFL for us, so it was very second on the back burner. So, like, my favorite college team is Oregon. Why? I like their uniforms. They're a high-power offense. That is it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It ends there. Like, I don't really, I just don't really have it in me. But I do watch it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel the same way, because it's like we were talking about before the show. Like, we were talking about how it's basically just 5 great powerhouse factory, NFL factory teams that are just good every year. But then like I told you before, these top 5 teams, Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, OSU, and LSU, are facing teams that have absolutely, positively 0 at all percent of facing teams like New Mexico State, or no, teams playing like Alabama. Like, New Mexico State has no reason to play Alabama.
No, dude. My 2 biggest knocks on NCAA football, or NCAA, And then that's one of them is finally being addressed is the fact that they're a $1 billion organization and they pay people $0. And not only do they not pay people $0, but yeah, let me walk this back. My issue isn't even that the NCAA doesn't pay the college kids. My issue is that they will stop college kids from making a dime at every step they can.
Right.
Which is such a POS thing to do. Because it's like, hey, we're not going to pay you. Cool. Well, this guy wants to pay give me food and buy me a car so I could. No! It's like, okay, you guys are garbage. No, we get it. You're garbage organization. You guys deserve to be in jail. Honestly, they really do. What they did to these kids, a lot of these people, because they're lining their pockets and they're ruining these kids.
Well, yeah.
So they should be in jail, but they won't be. So whatever. So I'll leave that rant for another time. So that's being addressed. The other thing that is my big problem with NCAA football is the fact that, like you just said, if you're a top 25 team, your schedule should be top 25 schools.
I'm not. I agree with you. I have, like I said, I don't feel like let's say like Alabama, they should not be playing New Mexico State. I would like to see them at least face a team in the Pac-12. I don't care if it's Stanford, Oregon, just something like a team that is somewhat reputable, because I'm not saying they have to play like Texas, LSU, like back-to-back weeks. But, some teams that, like Oregon, I was going to say Fresno State, no. Like Boise State, teams that they're in the top 25, but...
Well, Oregon's ranked, yeah. Dude, I mean, 1,000%. Alabama, no, by the way, I do think it should be like that. I think in all these schools, like LSU, any powerhouse school where they're a big name, like Alabama should play every week Clemson, LSU, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, Oregon, Boise State.
Yeah.
Because why not? You want to boast, you want to score 72 points on Bumble, middle of nowhere university.
Yeah.
And then I want to see Saban's stupid face being like, well, we only scored 63. Dude, go play a good school. Like I hate that. I hate. It's like fake tough guy talk almost,
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like the quality of football. So what's the thing about college football? There's only a good 4 weeks of good college football, because say like the first 5 or 6, you take away your bottom of the barrel conference teams like Rutgers and Vanderbilt and all of that. You only got 4 good weeks of college football until the playoffs, and that just means the regular season is 60% worthless. Depending on how you make up your schedule. Like Texas A&M, they already played Clemson, and they're playing Alabama this year. So like a team like them, they're an exemption because they did schedule it. But most of these teams, that's what I'm saying, 60%, 50% or 60%, their conference or their schedule's not that competitive.
No, it's a joke, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, does Alabama really think that like the Western Carolina Catamounts are gonna come out of nowhere and be top 25? No, they just know that they're going to be paying them money to go run them over. Then
right, that's what it is. These schools get money to get dominated. Dude, it's an embarrassment. That's what I'm saying. The NCAA should be abolished. It's an embarrassment.
Yeah, and when you think and I don't think the college football playoff is a good system either, just because it's a committee of people that do have bias towards certain schools. Because these people all come from different backgrounds. How are they going to come to a consensus when they're like, well, I want my own alma mater to get into the playoffs because they're the 6th ranked team, and we can bump them up 4 spots because they played Fresno State instead of Norfolk State, like Clemson did.
Have a bit longer of a season, have a real playoff system, and then we'll see who actually is good. I'm
just saying, like. Or if you want to do it the other way, shorten the season, or maybe by 4 games. So say like you have a 10-team playoff. So you're
yeah.
So you're getting, because at the same time, these kids want to prepare for the draft and make their money. So I'm thinking, say like 6 games. You have how about we get rid of all the conferences on top of it, because the conference system, it's hurting. Let's just get rid of the conference system too. If you want to be in the top 10. We'll just have like a top 25 rankings. Just keep it as it is now, but the top 10 teams make it.
Kind of like MMA rankings. Like you win, you move up. You lose, you go down. It's that simple.
Yeah, if you lose to a team that's like 25, or say if like the Alabama loses to like Oregon that's like ranked 25th in the country, for example.
Right.
They drop down a whole lot, then Oregon moves up a lot more.
Right.
because then you're going to see the cream of the crop. And it's not just, and you might be able to have those feel good stories for teams like UCF. They get their shot, and if they suck, if they really get blown out of the water, then you know that they're not real or they're not the legit.
Right. And then next season, guess who's not top 25?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You got to earn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like and also I think this also does affect evaluating prospects and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, when Clemson's playing Wofford, how can you evaluate a guy that's? I mean, I know it's only 1 week, but when these prospects trying to go in the NFL are not playing top competition,
right?
How can you see their true potential? You can see their strengths and how they're going to translate.
Point too, that you just made, because like that's the thing is, like, if you look at an NFL roster, the 52-man NFL roster, 53 whatever the hell roster, excuse me, every guy on that roster would be like the best college player on any college team.
Yeah. Because I love that question when they're asking, can the Miami Dolphins beat a college football team?
They would destroy any college football team.
Because college football, they don't scheme, they don't practice. Well, yeah, they don't prepare.
It's just that the level of college football talent is so drastically different.
Yeah, and the mentality is completely different too.
Right. So, like, you could have 4 studs in a college team, and they could literally beat an entire 100-man school. Like, roster on another college.
Yeah.
In the NFL, that's not happening, man. So figure it out.
Oh no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's just I want to see who. I mean, when it comes to draft time, you'll be able to gauge. Okay, is this guy legit? Who's he going against? Like the Patriots, they drafted Joan Williams from Vanderbilt, and the one game. I was watching some game film on him, and he was going against A.J. Brown against Ole Miss. A.J. Brown is arguably one of the best rookie receivers right now in the NFL.
Right.
So that now you're able to tell, okay, is this guy good? Can you see what his weaknesses are against top competition? Because you don't get to see that when Trevor Lawrence is going against Wofford, or if Tua Tagovailoa is going against Southern Miss. You can't see that.
Right. It's an embarrassment.
Yeah. I would say it just does get frustrating, because when you think of like football, you just think of the passion and grit behind it, but it's like it's more about the money now, and it's just unfortunate in that sense.
How do you think these kids feel getting smashed?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, these kids don't want to go and play these guys. They want to go play against guys that are within their competition that they can have a chance to win against. Because I mean, what can a coach say? Like, what? Okay, well, like, let's take an example. Wofford, when they're going to play Clemson in a few weeks, what can that coach say besides just do our best? I mean, seriously.
Hey guys, don't get paralyzed out there. Ready? Come on, you can do it.
Like you can't motivate these guys, because
that's the thing. It's like these kids are like, "Hey man, I'm playing for Southeastern Montana University for a reason." Whatever school I just made up. Like, because I can't play for Ohio, dude. What are we doing right now?
They acknowledge that they're within their own competition. If they do more than what's expected, then fine, that's great. But the majority of the people, they're not going to be matching up against Clemson or the Alabamas, because they're always getting the high cream of the crop class, high school recruiting class every year, and it's the same schools getting the same top quality kids.
Right, because kids know too. They're like, well, I'll go to Georgia or Texas or wherever. I'm definitely not going to go to Fresno.
Yeah. Unless you go the JUCO route, which is not bad if you really have the talent, or if you believe you have the talent, you just gotta get your stuff aligned first.
Yeah, but I think the problem is too, if you're also not dumb and not a screw up, you don't have to do that.
Right. Oh yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It just comes down to like personal choices.
Yeah.
So that wraps up the college football talk, and now we're gonna be talking about MLB playoffs. So you're a fan of the Yankees, so you better be pretty happy you're in the playoffs.
They're New York's only shining light in sports right now. So
don't forget about Danny Jones. How can you do that? How can you do that?
No, hey man, I'm very excited for Danny Dimes. I was very close to buying a Danny Dimes shirt off Barstool Sports. If we just got rid of Eli 5 years ago, oh my God, who would have known?
Yeah. So,
I'm definitely excited for the Yankees. I think it's gonna be Yankees Dodgers. The only threat I see the Yankees having is the Astros again. That's it.
That's what I was actually going to ask you, because the Yankees just lost Dellin Betances for the rest of the year. Well, they lost him. Yeah.
But he honestly pitched for a game and then tore his ACL. Like it doesn't matter. We got this far without him. It doesn't matter.
Right. So when you think of like the Astros being that much of a threat, how do the Yankees beat the Astros? Because Astros, like top to the bottom of their roster, there is like no glaring holes.
Have you seen the Yankees lineup?
It's pretty good, but it's hard.
They hit 300 and something home runs.
Yeah, but when you
they hit the most or second most home runs in the major leagues. I mean, I don't. Severino's back, who has a 0 ERA.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Chapman still lights out. He's never been a issue this year.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what Boone's been doing too. Besides Severino, he's been limiting his pitching because he just came off injury.
Right.
And all the other starting pitchers, he's been doing like 4 innings, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been working. So it doesn't matter. Let Verlander pitch. We hit Verlander anyway. It doesn't matter. That's
what I'm saying. Like, I think do the Astros or the Yankees have a better record?
The Yankees have a better record.
Okay, so if they get 4 games at the short porch, I can see the Yankees going to the World Series because I think batting wise they can match with the Astros. If not, they exceed them in terms of power.
I totally think they exceed them in terms of power.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah,
Brett Gardner's leadoff guy. He had 27 home runs.
When I see DJ LeMahieu hitting more than 20 home runs, I think short porch has its advantages.
And that's what dude. Don't forget, Judge missed a good portion of the season. And
still
had 30 home runs.
Oh yeah.
Stanton missed essentially the whole season. Now he's back, and he just smashed a home run yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever.
Well, yeah, Gary Sanchez was one of your best power hitters. I mean, well, he
most home runs by a catcher in Yankee history.
I liked Gary Sanchez as a power hitter. As a catcher, not a big fan, but he's a great hitter.
He's better, but he got better, but still, dude, Gregorius hitting home runs. I mean, Boyd hitting home runs. Urshela hitting home runs. Gleyber Torres hitting home runs. Everyone on that team hits home runs.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. My only concern is going against the Astros, who, I mean, it's tough to go against the Astros because their just lineup is so talented too.
Well, so here's last year, between the Yankees and Astros, it went 7 games and the Astros won because every home team won that series.
So you think the same premise applies here?
Well, I actually think the Yankees win in 6, but if it goes 7. I think it's because it is because then of that very reason then.
So if you're going Yankees and do you think there are any teams from the National League? We'll just go there. Do you think there are any teams in the National League that can upset the Dodgers?
No, maybe the Braves.
Because I was thinking, I look at the Braves and I love the Braves lineup.
Yeah, maybe the Braves, but I think the Dodgers. I think it's Dodgers Yankees.
East West. I would say the Dodgers, not the Dodgers, the Nationals. If their bullpen was better, their bullpen's one of the worst. I think it's the worst in baseball. So I'm like, I can't take that against the lineup against with Bellinger, Muncy. I mean, you can go down the line. Their lineup's fantastic.
Also, how ironic is it that Christian Yelich gets hurt and then the dude who replaces him ruins the season for him?
That's true. I was like, I wanted the Nationals to win because, I'm an Indians fan, and, well, they're not in the postseason, so, So I'm like, I like the Nationals because I like Bryce Harper, but then he left, and I'm like, I really like that Juan Soto kid. I like Trey Turner, Victor Robles. I mean, their team is so nice, but the bullpen is just a dumpster fire. It's amazing that they have 2 out of the 3 facets, but the biggest facet that they're missing is pitching or their bullpen.
Is the AL wild card tonight?
Yes, it is. It's the Rays in Oakland. And
Rays in Oakland, right?
If the Rays win, I don't see them beating the Astros just because their offense is not that good.
No, I don't see the Astros losing.
No, I think
until the Yankees.
Yeah, because I think that's going to be the only fight. I don't know, but the Yankees and Twins, I think that's going to be one of the better matchups in the postseason, to be honest.
Oh man, I just went on ESPN to check the time of the game, and I just read 2 things. That one of those, I was going to say one thing would be cool for breaking news. The owner of the Arizona Cardinals just passed away.
Yeah, Bill Bidwell just passed away today too.
And Steven Gostkowski is on injured reserve now, and I have to get a new kicker for my fantasy team. So
yeah, the Patriots are trying out new kickers. So yeah, sorry to.
There is that I'm doing right now as we speak. But other than that, no. All right. So I mean, yeah, I think Astros don't lose to anybody. I don't think Yankees lose. The Yankees destroy the Twins all the time. Historically, I'm not worried about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I was looking at stats and all that. the Twins hit one more home run than the
one more.
Yeah.
Than the Yankees. Yep.
Like,
that's it.
In terms of offensive production, though, they're pretty similar, though.
Yeah, it's just that we have their number, dude, and that means something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. Like, the Indians had the same problem with the Yankees and all these the better teams than them.
It's like, it does matter, man. Like, that does matter. It does come into play. It's weird, but it does.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I do think, like, when we're talking about the Astros and Yankees, I actually do think that in a way, because if the 4 games go to New York, I think weather does become a factor for the Astros because it's cold weather. I mean, Houston's in 100 degrees, 350 days of the year.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so. I hope the Yankees pull through. I really do.
See, I'm not a fan of the Yankees, but I just want a good postseason. Just something competitive.
Yeah, I mean, I get why the country would hate Dodgers Yankees.
Oh, because it's 2 of the most highest spending franchises making the World Series, which, again, it's
2 of the most hated teams. It's also like, the 2 elite cities who think they're better than everybody on the coast. It's like when the Yankees and Mets play each other. No one has the least watched World Series of all time, I think, right?
Right, yeah.
Not for me. Let me tell you, living in Staten Island in New York, that was the most watched World Series of all time.
Oh, yeah, everyone in New York was watching it, but that was about it.
Yeah, of course.
So, actually, I'll be honest with you. If the Yankees do get to face the Dodgers in the World Series, I'll be rooting for the Yankees. I just don't like the Dodgers. I don't know why. My brother does like the Dodgers, but I don't know why. I don't like the Dodgers.
That's fair.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. Like, they've never done specifically anything wrong. It's just I don't like the Dodgers.
I think they just have something about them that's annoying. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like that kid that doesn't do it's like that one person that that just doesn't do anything wrong, but it's like you just want to punch them in the face.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I never really liked Tommy Lasorda. He always annoyed me. Like, I don't know, man, that might be it.
Yeah, so, I mean, anything else you want to say before we finish this show up? Besides following Slapstick Sports?
Well, yeah, check out my podcast, Slapstick Sports. Obviously, it's available everywhere. Please subscribe to Drop Tent Media Network on YouTube. We're trying to build those numbers up. If you guys could follow me on social media, that'd be super appreciated. It's at Adam Nutter on, I think, everything. You'll find me. Just type in Adam Nutter, guys. You get how to do it. It's me holding a microphone. I'm a comedian. It's a standard comic profile picture. I'm just going to be honest. He's the first guy. Also, go to nerdswarspodcast.com or just, again, follow me on whatever social media. Check out my upcoming shows. This Saturday, I'll be in Hatboro, Pennsylvania at the laboratory at 8:30, I think, or 9. And then I think something next. October 10th, I'll be in Chalfont, Pennsylvania at the Pop In. All those tickets are available on nerdswordspodcast.com. So, that's my other podcast, nerdswordspodcast.com. Check that out, too.
I was just going to say.
Go there for my tickets and show dates and all that stuff.
Yeah, if you look up Adam Nutter on Facebook, he's probably the only guy that I met with the last name Nutter, so you probably can't miss him.
So I'm saying, you guys find me. You can get tickets to all my shows through my profiles and links and all that stuff. So
yeah,
come watch me do comedy.
Yeah, get a good laugh. So that has been the Sports Avenue podcast. I'm Jimmy Simonis. This has been Adam Nutter from Slapstick Sports. Eventually, I'll probably be on their show, right?
Yeah, down the road. Yeah, we're gonna start bringing in guests.
All right, yeah.
We're still we're only 4 or 5 episodes in our own show, so we're doing one tomorrow. We're gonna start live streaming, so we're doing one tomorrow, and then I think we're gonna start bringing in guests probably next month or two.
All right, I'll make sure that I'm the first on that list. Excuse me. All right, yeah.
No, you definitely come on, man, for sure.
Yeah, sweet. All right, well, yeah, you'll definitely be invited back here on this podcast for sure. This was a good time, Adam. Thanks for the last minute join. So yeah, that's been the Sports Avenue podcast. I'll plug in all social media down below in the description. Guys, thank you for listening. Have a great week. The road for sports starts here.